And I never saw that. I mean, you just did not do that. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Silver and Sensational. It is the I, as in Lois Mills, welcoming you to another episode of my current adventures living in Paris. And I want to take the time to thank you not only for tuning in, but for all your incredible comments. I just love it. I love reading them and responding to them. So keep them coming. And if you have any questions, please just put it down in the column list. And also, this week's blog is going to have a little bit of a surprise. And if you haven't done so yet, I think you'd find a very quick read of my blog kind of fun. And I talk about things that I don't talk about on this program. So make sure you go down in the description box and click on the link, or you can go to loismills.com. And there's new things coming all the time. So on that note, let's just jump right in. And what I'm going to do for today and probably for at least the next few weeks is I want to take you with me as I do things in Paris. Now, I'm not going to bore you with walking Jackie down the boulevards or, stopping at the markets to get eggs that you get off a shelf and not in the refrigerated case, which is still mind-boggling to me, but I get a kick out of it. Anyway, so let me start with a little bit after I got here. I thought, I've been coming here for so many years. I've had so many experiences and memories, and I remember having been here about 20 years ago and stayed at a hotel, and I had trouble on that trip with jet lag. And so I'd be up 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'd go down to the lobby and read the paper, and the housekeepers coming through would spray this spray that was so fresh and just a fresh, wonderful fragrance. And so before I left the hotel, I contacted the manager and asked him about this spray. So I got back to Los Angeles. Of course, I couldn't do it here, right? He literally gave me the information as I was leaving for the airport. But when I got back to Los Angeles, I reached out to the person and said, I really love this room fragrance. Do you offer it in the United States? And he said, no, not really, but I'd be very happy to ship some to you. So he did. And through the years, I think I reordered perhaps twice because he'd send this great big aluminum container of it. And as the years went on, especially this last year in Los Angeles, literally before I left for Paris, I used it so sparingly because I did not want to not have it. So I was thinking about it, and I looked him up online, and sure enough, he was still in business. So I sent him an email, and lo and behold, he remembered me. And we had just the nicest chat, and he asked me if I would perhaps like to visit his laboratory, which of course I jumped at the opportunity. Being a perfume aficionado, Lord knows anyone that knows me knows I could have opened my own perfume store.
You'd be a bestseller. I'm sure of it.
But on a Sunday, I got over to his beautiful place and we had the most wonderful chat. And who is this person, you're asking? Well, he's a bespoke perfumer by the name of Blaise Mautin. Blaise is absolutely charming and so good at what he does. And he had prepared for me my fragrance that I love so much. And it was just one of the best afternoons I have ever spent. And so in today's program, we're adding in a video, very, very, very short video of Blaise in his laboratory, which is really divine. And you will see him in a cast because 2 weeks before he had had surgery on an arm after breaking it in a ski accident. So that was just one of, as I say, one of the most enjoyable afternoons, in addition to being charming. He's very handsome, I think you'll agree, and just a fine, fine person. So we found we had a great deal in common, and it was a lot of fun.
Look at this. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, look. Smells nice, huh?
Glorious. And here is
Hello.
Monsieur Blaise. Oh, Mautin?
Yes, Mautin. Let's go.
Oh, look at this
So here's my
incredible
lab with all my perfume bottles. for me to
laboratory.
create stuff.
This is fantastic thing. So you can check him out online, Blaise Mautin, Mautin. He really does the most divine fragrances, not only for the home, but for person, obviously. So I had walked by a restaurant several times and knew of its history. And so I decided to book a table, and it's called Le Procope. And this restaurant is from 1686. You heard me, 1686. Actually, Benjamin Franklin was a patron, and it's in this wonderful passage that, I mean, it is really hard to walk in this particular passage because the cobblestones, I mean, this stuff is so old that they're tilted and broken. And even in my trainers, it's not easy to walk on it, but it was a great experience because of its history. And I mean, knowing that Benjamin Franklin ate there was just, it just boggled my mind. The food is decent, it's good, and it's not crazily priced. And it's always booked to the hilt because of its history. But I really did enjoy my time there. Mainly, it wouldn't have been the same if it wasn't from 1686. It wouldn't have been a place that I would have made a real effort to go to. And I'm not sure if you know this, but I learned to sew when I was 9 years old, and I actually made almost all my clothes until I was in my 30s. Truth be told, I haven't done much of anything. I mean, I don't even take something in, I bring it to the tailor. But in anticipation of the hot weather for the summer, I thought I really need to have an activity in addition to reading that keeps my attention while I'm indoors more than I can't really walk around when it's 95 or 100 degrees. So I bought a sewing machine that actually works both here and in the States and decided I would get back into sewing, but not really knowing what I wanted to do. Did I want to upcycle things? Did I want to start from scratch? Do I want to do I really don't know what I want to do, but I thought I should get some sort of inspiration. So I checked out the area that has fabrics, and I've also included a video of the Sensational area, which is a lot of fabric stores. And it so reminded me of the fabric district in Los Angeles because it's just shop after shop of piles of remnant fabrics and bolts and bolts and bolts shoved up against walls. And I mean, you really have to be patient. There's nothing nicely put out. It's just all there, but it is a treasure trove of fabrics. Absolutely. So I'm including that video just to give you a flavor of what sort of a wholesale district is like in Paris, and know that it's really, I guess, designers with creds get wholesale prices, but if you're buying 2 or 3 yards of fabric, you're going to pay full price. But anyway, so this is one of the streets in the fabric district. I feel it's a bit like Los Angeles with its fabric district. So I've just arrived in the center where there are wholesale fabric stores.
Sí. Y pues sí. Es bon. Mais bon,
Oh gosh, I did I did take a tunic top that I bought because I love the fabric, but I didn't like the fact that it was so long. And I did take that apart and shortened it to the length that I want. And now I'm thinking I bought a vintage 1960s pattern because I still think that was the most fun time. But you younger people, if you're wearing mini skirts today, honey, we did that back then. Yeah, it's been done already. And no one had more fun doing it than me. But I'm not making a mini skirt, but I am doing a real 60s tent style dress that'll be fun for the summer and also very cool. I mean, cool in terms of keeping me cool.
I love sewing. It's so relaxing. It's like you start with nothing and you end with something.
And so you'll see that video and then a trip to the American Library in Paris, which you can almost reach out and touch the Eiffel Tower. And it's a, very plain building. There's nothing spectacular about it from the outside. There is a paid membership. It's not a public in terms of what we're used to municipal libraries that are basically free. This is a paid membership. And it has over 100,000 books and tons of periodicals and a really huge selection of cookbooks. Incredible. And they've got a lot of activities that they do, a lot of guest speakers, and they do run tours. And so it's a very popular place for Americans to meet other people and also, to have the ability to go through tons of books without looking for the one that says something in English or walking into a bookstore and saying, do you have any books in English? And she sends you to an area that's about this big. So anyway, that was very nice. I enjoyed it and I'll be going there on a regular basis for sure. And then I was on my way back from a massage. I had a shiatsu massage, and it was a wonderful way for me to come down, but more importantly, getting my muscles released. So I find that a lot of the beauty services in Paris, in terms of facials, massages, not so much hair and nails. Hair and nails is about comparable in price as Los Angeles, maybe a few dollars cheaper. But where I really see a difference is in the cost of massages and facials. I mean, a huge difference. And a facial that I have enjoyed, because I have not really done facials in years. But there's a Kobe dough facial that I love because it's like about 40 minutes of their massaging your face and you walk out glowing and with a lift. Temporary, but you could still see the lift. And a massage for me is it's really not a luxury because my muscles are so tight. It's therapeutic. And the fact that it's substantially less money than the massage fees in Los Angeles, I'm able to get them more frequently.
It's relaxing, isn't it?
So as I was walking home, my phone rang and it was a friend from Los Angeles. And I thought, well, I'm early and I hadn't been away from Jackie that long. So I stopped at one of the cafes, to have a mineral water and to have my conversation with my friend. But I can tell you everybody sits at cafes. I am telling you because all you do is people watch. And the difference in Paris compared again to Los Angeles or the United States in general is that you could go and sit with a mineral water, a Coca-Cola, or a glass of wine, as most people have, which, by the way, is almost cheaper than a Coca-Cola or a mineral water. And I'm serious about that. You can sit there forever, and a waiter will not approach you until you flag that you want l'addition. You are not going to be bothered. And it really is amazing to me. So I've included a photograph. I mean, it's sort of a photogenic place, and it's on a street with tons, I mean, tons of cafes and bakeries and markets. And I mean, one of the restaurants has an oyster cart literally on the sidewalk. And when you order seafood, they take this seafood from the cart. He's got oysters and mussels and shrimp. It's really a lot of fun because the French take their food so seriously. I do mean seriously. It's really fun to see because there's such an appreciation for it. And if you have an appreciation for it, they love you for the fact that you do. I will say that in terms of dining, one thing I noticed that's very different today. I mean, listen, the whole world has changed, and I've been coming here for 50 years. And so there's a lot that's changed, but the world has changed. A few things that are different is people don't dress the way they used to here. I mean, people are very comfortable. Even the chicest of ladies will be wearing jeans. I mean, perhaps they have a beautiful boucle jacket with wonderful jewelry and a great handbag and great shoes, but they also could be wearing trainers. I mean, this was something we didn't see. And the other thing that I noticed that never occurred is I see people walking down the street eating, and I never saw that. I mean, you just did not do that. But because now so many bakeries offer these, and I mean, they are really good sandwiches at like really the most ridiculously low prices, especially at lunchtime when, people are out, they grab their lunch and they're walking along the street, probably running errands on their lunch hour and munching on a sandwich or whatever. And that's a big difference. I really had not ever seen that before. Now, also, I do know a lot of people that I'm seeing are tourists, but I'm talking about a number of French people, mostly younger, but, out on their lunch hour from work. And I see the practicality of it. Firstly, to sit down at a restaurant and have lunch. It's kind of expensive for young people who are working every day. I don't know to what extent they can do that. And I myself will stop at one of the bakeries. I have my favorites that I know make very good sandwiches and pick up a sandwich and bring it home. I don't need to eat it on the street, but as I say, I can understand if you're working and you want to do other things on your lunch hour, you're going to eat the sandwich. So that's a big difference that I see. But at any rate, I did want to have you do along with me, and I'm going to tell you that the next episode is going to be really exciting. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You never hear me tell you about something that's going to be so exciting. But this really is. I mean, my heart got thumping and I couldn't move fast enough. And I had that camera going and it was a feast for the eyes, and I will be sharing that with you. So, on that note, let me thank you again for tuning in. And you know the routine. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hand and press the notification bell. And again, I remind you to go down into the description box and click on the link to my blog. I know you'll enjoy it. And in the meantime, look after yourselves. And I say bye-bye.